Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm introducing Kapalabhati breathing, skull polishing breath. And I'm excited to share this now in particular because I think it's a really good tool for increasing our sense of presence, awakeness, well-being, mental clarity, kind of getting rid of some of the static. And I think particularly when we are experiencing stress, personally, societally, right now it's winter, really cold, and that's stressful here in Wisconsin. It can be very difficult to really feel our best version of ourselves and to bring that to what we find important in our lives, our relationships, our work, just being happy and being human. So I think that this is just one of many great tools among yogic tools, and particularly among pranayama or breathing tools and techniques. It ideally would not be practiced if you are experiencing any abdominal discomfort, high blood pressure, hypertension, recent eye surgeries or cataracts, etc., because it does create kind of pressure in the system. Now, we're going to actually be starting our practice with a different breath just to kind of get our core awake and doing the right things. And I call this compression and expansion. I made it up. It's kind of a simplified version of three-part breathing, if you're familiar with that. And the goal is to practice getting complete emptying and complete filling. And again, using our core body to do that versus kind of hiking and shrugging our shoulders, which sometimes people do in the effort to get deep breath. To be able to breathe properly, we need a proper seat. And I'm actually seated on a chair right now, kind of a softly upholstered living room chair, but it's very firm. And you could also be seated cross-legged on the floor if that's comfortable for you. You might have something underneath you so that you've got a long spine. If you're seated on the floor, the key is that your knees should be no higher than your hips. Otherwise, it will tilt your tailbone under and your spine back, and you won't have access to this full breath apparatus and capacity that we really want when we're trying to up our game in breath. You can have your hands in any position you'd like. They could just be settled in a relaxed way, kind of on top of your thighs. You can add a mudra if you like. I'm doing a fingertip of the index finger connected to the thumb, and then the other fingers kind of activated and together, and then that just settles on my lap, whatever you would like. First, coming into compression and expansion, you might have your hand on your abdomen initially to be able to just really feel what's happening here. So just take a regular inhale through the nose. On your exhale, if you can, think about compressing the belly back towards the spine. Emptying, emptying, emptying. Is there more? Then on the inhale, allow the breath to fill the space under your hands, kind of making a nice Buddha belly or a loaf of sourdough bread. And when you think it's complete, see if you can sip in a little extra, what I call expansion. And we're going to continue exhaling compression. Now, during this, you might add a little perineum or pelvic floor engagement. This can be a wonderful little add-on that makes us stronger, literally, in the core area, but also more awake, present feeling. Make sure you stay present with the breath, give it your full attention and time to grow so that you are harvesting those last little whispers of both inhale and exhale. When we're doing this work, it can be hard to stay relaxed during neck or in the neck and the mouth and eyes and so on. So you might have to give that your constant attention if you're someone who kind of chronically tightens, clenches, scrunches, what have you. So some of the attention that helps me is, first of all, right away, turning my gaze up and in. When you're no longer needing to see me, look at that third eye point above and between the eyebrows. Lightly connect the tip of the tongue at the roof of the mouth behind the front teeth with the rest of the tongue soft. And when you're ready, find your hand position, and you can keep it on the belly if you'd like. We're going to take a sample breath. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. But the exhale is going to be a rapid expulsion, belly firmly drawing towards spine. If yours went out, then I would absolutely keep your hand on your belly to try and have it as a reference point to draw your hand away from the belly on the exhale, and then on the inhale, allow it to expand into your hand. All right. So if that felt good and you're ready, we're going to do a round of maybe 15 or so exchanges of breath. Take the inhale as long as you need to get good breath, and then the exhale, rapid expulsion. And on your next inhale, slow, deep, and wide. You might sweep the arms up. On the exhale, place the hands on the knees and fold, emptying through the mouth. Close the mouth, come up to seated, holding the breath out. External breath block. Try to hold past that initial instinct to inhale. When you need to, inhale and hold in, internal breath block. Can I soften around this? Is there more? And then when there isn't, let it go. So we'll do another couple of rounds of this, each time with that breath block activity in between. And again, if you're feeling lightheaded or weird or anything, either skip the breath block or just do it very briefly, and then you can join back into regular breath, and we'll come into Kapalabhati for second round. As you're ready, inhale, root and rise, and begin. Continuing like this, and a reminder that you can change your rhythm. You can slow or speed. Just make sure you're getting enough inhale. We're not wanting to do a full kind of bellows breath where we're barely sipping in that inhale, kind of hyperventilating, if you will. So plenty of inhale, exhaling, rapid expulsion. Keep it going, just a couple of more. And then inhaling, slow, deep, and wide, sweeping the arms out and up. If you want, you can even raise the heart up. Exhaling, fold. Empty through the mouth. Close the mouth, holding the breath out. External kumbhaka, external breath lock, and come to seated. Notice your heartbeat. Softening around any growing pressure or tension. And when you need to do so, inhale and hold in, internal breath lock. Softening, noticing. When you need to, releasing. I'm going to offer one more round and a little add-on of kind of intention and awareness during the breath lock portion. So I like to think of Kapalabhati as sort of fluffing up the energetic pillow. If you have a down pillow, you know what I mean. You fluff it, you pat it and move it, put it in the dryer, and it comes out just so much more spacious and lofty. And we would love our body and being to be more that way versus compressed and crunchy. So during the Kapalabhati phase, that's kind of what I'm picturing, is that there's just this cleansing and fluffing up happening. During the breath lock, during the holding out, I like to imagine that I'm kind of creating a fertile soil, if you will, if you want to use a gardening metaphor. So I'm cultivating this wonderful receptive space. And then on the inhale, that I'm bringing in any energy that I want to nourish in that receptive space, any seeds that I want to plant, etc. So if that feels, guys, poignant or purposeful at this time in your life, feel free to add that awareness. We can add one more thing as well, which is when we are exhaling, holding out, you might add that perineum engagement, that pelvic floor, and it just kind of holds that empty space. When you inhale, you're going to let that go and let energy move up through your spine. You might picture it coming from the earth, however you'd like to, rising up the spine, and you're bringing it up to that third eye point that I talked about. And when you do that, you can then turn your gaze up and in, kind of crossing again to set your gaze at that point. And once you've filled that inhale and you're holding, then once again engage the perineum pelvic floor. I will mention these things as we go. As you're ready, inhale, root and rise, light connection, tip of the tongue, soft smile perhaps, and begin your Kapalabhati skull polishing breath. Rapid in and out. Powerful engagement of that belly. Notice if you're hunching or doing anything kind of funny with the shoulders. Try to stay calm there and just isolate through the belly. Again, you might be amending your pace at any time, noticing what feels right to you now that you're really warming up. Let's do about 10 more. And then inhaling, slow, deep, and wide, rising up, rising up. Exhaling, fold. Empty the breath, external breath lock. Return to seated, holding out, and you might add the perineum engagement. Listening inward. Softening around the holding experience best you can. And when you need to breathe, release that perineum engagement. Invite inhale and energy to flow all the way up the spine to the third eye point, and then hold in, once again engaging your root lock, perineum. Letting your energy circulate, nourish. Can I soften around this? Is there more? And when you need to, without it being any kind of struggle, let it go. Return to your slow, deep, and wide yogic breath as you scan your body and notice the effects of Kapalabhati. You might bring your hands to prayer hands here at the heart, consciously connecting the thumbs at the sternum bone, feeling the presence of palm to palm, and bowing to your own good heart and the wisdom of this amazing body that you're in. Shanti, Shanti, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day.